Aloha everyone and welcome back to 808 Ladybug Urban Gardening Hawaii. I'm Jan and today we're going to take a break from our Did You Know series and do a mini harvest and a walk through our garden to see what's happening. I believe this will be the last plant growing on our arch trellis. This is the Korean melons. It's reaching the top and I can see several melons popping out. So let's start with tomatoes. Let's see what we can find. One thing we learned with tomatoes is that you don't always have to wait until they're completely red on the plant. Once the tomato begins to change color and start to ripen, you can often pick it and allow it to finish ripening off the plant. Here in Hawaii, we can also keep an eye out on pests and birds. Sometimes picking them a little earlier is a better choice. Our summer heat is so intense, many of our tomato plants do not push out a lot of tomatoes. So we're going to be starting a new set of tomato seedlings in this new bed. These tomatoes are not ready to be harvested, but they look like they're on their last leg of growing. These peppers still need some time to grow. Does this mean we have a healthy soil? Next up, lettuce. One thing I really enjoy about growing lettuce is that you don't necessarily have to harvest the whole plant at once. If the plant is healthy, you can harvest some of the outside leaves and leave the center of the plant growing. This is called cut and come again. That gives you more lettuce to harvest later. It's a simple technique, but for us it's a great way to get more out of a small garden space. These lettuce have bolted, so I won't be picking them. We have some Daikon growing, and it's really fun to see what's happening with rooted crops because you never know what's growing below. With root vegetables like Daikon, one of the fun things to do is check the top of the roots where it meets the soil. You can sometimes get an idea of how large the root is becoming, but the real surprise comes when you pull it out. So these are Daikon that is growing in our new raised bed. So here are some other daikons that are growing in our containers. And if you notice, the root part is sticking up higher than the daikon that was in the larger raised bed. These daikon growing in this container were started after the daikons growing in our large raised bed. And it's funny to see the difference in the growth. Could it be because we need to put more nutrients in our larger raised bed since we have other plants that are sharing in the nutrients? Maybe we notice in our raised bed a lot of the plants are growing much slower than in separate containers. Of course, not everything in the garden looks perfect, and that's something we always want to remind people about. You don't have to have a perfect garden to have a productive garden. We have leaves that don't look perfect, plants that are damaged, and some plants we just lose completely. That's just part of gardening. So here's our corn growing in our bed number 1. It's doing nicely. I had just sprayed some kaolin clay on it to keep some bugs off. So we're just waiting for the corn to start popping out. In one of my Did You Know videos, I showed this cucumber plant that just started overtaking the trellis, and it was giving some nice pickling cucumbers. Well, now it's on its last leg, so we'll be pulling this out and planting more cucumbers. Here are some lettuce and spinach growing in our container. Our upper slope, which is our fruit orchard area, we have a plant that is giving us a lot of something. Do you know what it is? Let us know in the comments below. There's some seedlings that we need to do some transplant. And we got a new plant. It's a yuzu that my daughter will enjoy when we get our first harvest. There's always something happening in our garden. Some plants are ready to harvest, some are just getting started, and others need a little attention. That's what keeps gardening interesting. There's always something to learn and something new to look forward to. And here's our harvest for today. It may not be a huge harvest, but that's okay. We're happy with what our garden had given us. Mahalo for spending a little time in our garden with us today. If you enjoyed coming along for our harvest, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to 808 Ladybug and leave us a comment. We love to know what you're harvesting from your garden right now. Until next time, mahalo and happy gardening.